They called me down in the room, and they said, "All right, Mel, you want to come around and hang around the club?" I said, "I do." And the president at the time says, "Well, how old are you?" And I looked around the room, and man, I just got that, my nuts came up in my stomach, and I was like, "Man, 18." And they all looked around, and they looked over there at another member who was, grooming me too. This guy, Big Al, he's on my arm right here. He got killed, and they looked at him, and I go, no, it's not his fault. I said, I told these guys I was 21 because I'm in the bars and everything like that. I said, so I apologize here, and they're like, well, you can't come in the club till you're 21. I said, I get it, but I'll just continue to hang around and everything like that. So then I took a little hiatus for about a year. I was just pouring concrete with them and stuff, and I had my daughter at 17, so my daughter was very young. I was with her mother since I was like 15. I was concentrating on that. Well, now, about a year later, so I was like 19 now, and I went down for a party, and they hadn't seen me in a year or so, and they're like, hey, how you been? I'm good, Well, how old are you now? I said, it's only been a year and some change. I'm 19, and they said, man, you're going to age rough. You look older. You want to come in the club? I said, I do. They said, okay, come on, let's make it official. You become an official hang-around at a prospect, and then you get voted for your patch, right? Yeah, so that's how it happened, and that's what I did, and I was very eager there. When I got into that world, I wanted to learn that world. Who knew that world? You know what I mean? And what I mean about that world, when the motorcycle club started, back in the 40s and 50s and stuff like that, was that brotherhood, right? Guys coming home from the service, the Vietnam stuff, and the brotherhood of everything, the history of the Hells Angels and everything like that, and that brotherhood, that camaraderie is something that, so dear to myself. You know how we feel. So I love that. I love to see that, and that's what I was doing. We were spending time with each other at homes and Christmases and Thanksgiving and Godfather to each other's kids and stuff like that. But in that world comes the nonsense, the violence, the tit for tat with the other clubs and stuff like that, as we say, and I was into that part. Them cats showed me the violent side of the lifestyle. And as I say, I got bit by that. It just trapped me in. I got sucked into it like a shark in the water, and I tasted that violence and that power and that it's our way or no way kind of mentality and stuff. And I grew into that, right? And it's like I always said, different seasons in my life, and that's how that journey started.
And what was your history with violence at that point? You say most people, there's people, I got in trouble at school all the time. Ain't a fucking chance I'm punching the principal in the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're clearly, you're built different. Like I said, there's 1%ers, there's guy, and then there's you, right? There's a different,